You can get chaos by picking and choosing that way. You can also get chaos by doing what the atheists want us to do. Reject all theistic views altogether and choose atheism and default to atheism. But what does atheism do? Atheism has no moral standard. Everything's relative. It's whatever people in Texas want to do, whatever people in Illinois want to do. You see? And when you get to the federal level, you get all these contradictions we have. And you can go on the inertia of a good system that you know, when you tear something down, it takes a while for it to really fall. You know, when you're destroying something, you don't destroy it necessarily right away. Even if something becomes illegal, the people still do it. You know? So there's inertia in a good system that takes a while for damaging things to totally destroy it. But you can only pick at something so many times before it crumbles. That's what's happening. We are being destroyed, and it's deliberate by secular, atheists, evolutionists, ACLU type people that are doing this on purpose. And I want to give some examples. But see, atheists mention, well, okay, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. See, if you give up all religions, all your moral base, what do you got? You don't have anything. What are you going to stand for? You will fall for anything. Look at our young people and how they don't seem to have the moral base that we thought we were giving them. It was stolen from them in the public schools and on the television and the movies. And who knows what they're listening to with those iPods and are walking down the street and don't even, you know, I mean, they are totally isolated from the world. Who knows what they're getting? But probably what they're getting is stuff that destroys the character that we thought we were putting in them. We accept the belief that all religions are equal to our peril. Our forefathers chose. They looked at all the religions of the world. Of course, they were already Christians, so it didn't take them long to look, okay? Right? But they considered Mohammedanism, and they talked about other religions. And they chose deliberately Christianity to be the national base. It's like Brian said in his letter to the editor. We are a Christian nation. That's what we are historically, and it's still what we are. We've just fallen a ways, but it's still what we are. But our forefathers selected Christianity to be the political foundation of this nation. They selected Christianity as a superior body of religious teachings. This Christian selection provides a unique morality and worldview that, when applied to individuals and government, produces unique policies and behaviors in individuals and government. These Christian policies are so generous and peaceful that they're easy to abuse them. And the behaviors of Christian believers are so typically non-confrontational that this abuse tends to not be opposed. So look what's happened. Among the Christian teachings as regards to the personal, private, voluntary choice men individually make concerning God is that Jesus Christ is His Son and that salvation is possible only through Him. The Christian operates from the biblical principles of whosoever will may come to Christ for salvation, which leaves everyone who will not come to not come. The biblical principle that if a man will not accept the Christian offer of salvation, you let them walk away. No coercion whatsoever is to be brought against him. It is from these biblical principles that salvation is a personal, private, totally voluntary matter that our forefathers derived our very public First Amendment constitutional freedom of religion. But look what non-Christians have done with it. Non-Christian parties, politically and legally, use just this one Christian political and legal principle against us. We're just thinking about this one. The way the offer of this freedom of religion has worked to the detriment of the USA is that Christians, in keeping with this amendment, let advocates of other religions, including atheists, prosper freely in our midst. But when advocates of these other freely operating religions have come to outnumber Christians in certain influential areas like Congress, House of Representatives, Supreme Court, these other religion advocates have used and abused these liberties we gave them to politically restrict us in ways that we never restricted them. Just look at what is happening all around us. Christians cannot have prayer in school or civic meetings. 10 Commandments cannot be posted in school and government places. We cannot have Christmas and Easter celebrations in public schools. Creation cannot be taught in our public schools. Used to be. When I grew up, it was that way. But witches and Satanists can have their holidays celebrated in public schools. Muslims can pray any way they wish in our government bodies. Evolution can be, must be, taught in our public schools, and on it goes. It always seems to be a one-way street against Christians and Christianity, doesn't it? President John Adams said that our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious, and by that he meant Christian people. He said it is wholly inadequate to the government of any other non-Christian people. Only Christians will preserve the freedom for all that we all currently enjoy. The other religious advocates preserve freedom only for themselves. It is as the expression goes, free people can vote themselves into slavery, but slaves cannot vote themselves back into freedom. The generosity of Christians to let the other belief systems in, coupled with our inactivity to preserve our own heritage, is slowly but incrementally voting ourselves into slavery. And it's coming from the atheists.